What's going on, everybody? Welcome back into DLF. Today, we are talking through Dynasty strategy. Specifically, when should you actually be buying low in Dynasty, right? In redraft, it's usually pretty easy. It's, buy the guys that are seeing a bunch of targets but not scoring, or guys that have red zone targets and haven't found the end zone, or they have a bunch of carries but they played a tough defense, right? Those are easy in the context of redraft. It's obvious, or at least it should be if you're playing fantasy long enough. However, in Dynasty, it's different, right? We're talking about a guy's entire career. Over the course of their career, there's going to be ups and downs. When is that time to kind of pounce and try to buy low at a discount and not get burned? There's 3 indicators that I'm looking for when I'm trying to buy low, specifically in Dynasty, whether it's in the offseason or in season. The first thing I'm really looking for, especially in Dynasty, is did the situation just suck this year? From a guy's career, is he talented? Do we know he's a talented player and he's just stuck in a terrible spot? Those are the prime times to go and, try to get a discount. For me, this is players like, Kyle Pitts, a guy like, say, DJ Moore. I think those are 2 obvious ones because the underlying metrics are they see a ton of targets, they get targeted at a high rate, and we just know they're good. Like, we know they are good players. If you've listened to me long enough, I always say bet on talent, and a lot of that comes into play here when you're trying to target buy low options. Now, obviously, if you're contending or rebuilding, the guys you want to buy low on probably shift a little bit, right? You don't really want to be buying low on DJ Moore right now if you're a contending roster because the situation's still going to be crappy this year. However, when we get into the offseason, there's an opportunity. Someone's going to look at him and say, he had another down season. He just wasn't living up to the hype yet again, and he's getting cheaper and cheaper every offseason. Kyle Pitts is going to be the same way, right? Maybe people will hold out a little bit on a quarterback upgrade, so that's a fine line to walk. But still, if the situation is bad, that's when you want to target buy low opportunities, right? I'm not really interested in buying low on guys in great offenses that just aren't producing. Think Gabe Davis. I don't want to buy low on Gabe Davis because he's still not being targeted a ton. He's in an elite offense. Things could not be better for him, and he's still not producing to the level people want. So to me, that's not a buy low. That's just a landmine. That's the nuance there when you're trying to decipher good player, bad situation, or bad player, good situation. I think that's a key one to keep in mind. And the other big one for me, right, this is number 2 here. If a player is injured and they come back and they are not the same guy that season, I'm probably going to look to buy low. Like, I really am. As long as it's not a catastrophic injury, right? You're not dealing with a major ACL injury or an Achilles tear or something that is going to affect them long term. You want to target guys that are a little bit banged up and maybe not producing at a high level. Think Jonathan Taylor. Jonathan Taylor kind of fits the bill of everything here. Terrible situation. He has been in and out of the lineup with injuries on a team that is giving up. And when he has been healthy, quote unquote healthy, he hasn't produced. But here's the thing. You can look at Jonathan Taylor the last couple of years and say to yourself, is he actually good? The answer is unequivocally yes. Jonathan Taylor is a superstar running back. There's no way around that. So again, people are selling low on Jonathan Taylor right now, and I'm going to buy it up literally everywhere. If you go watch our 5 moves to make video, I say the same thing there, and I'm going to continue to say it, right? He's just not producing at a high level because there's a number of factors. Situation, already covered it. Injury as well. That's limiting him severely. So for me, that's an easy guy to go scoop up, right? Now, again, whether you're a contender or a rebuilder, that shifts who you're going to target, right? Typically, if I'm a contender, I'm not buying low on players that are currently injured because I want to make a title run, and if players are hurt, they can't do that. But if I'm a rebuilder and I see a guy that is struggling because they just can't stay healthy this year, I will go and buy them up. Think the last couple of years, CMC, Saquon Barkley as well. 2 guys that just didn't look right, but we know they're good. They were just banged up. To me, those are obvious buy lows. And lastly, I've already kind of touched on it. I've been circling it. If a player has had previous success and they are not living up to expectations for whatever reason this year, I'm going to buy low. For me, this is a guy like Devonta Smith or, DK Metcalf coming into this season. Devonta Smith had a great rookie year. He has not lived up to a lot of the hype I think that some people had coming out of college in year 2 because A.J. Brown is now there. But here's the thing. We know Devonta Smith is good. We saw it his rookie season. Things are not panning out right now, but I still think over the course of his career, he's going to find success. Now, if you're thinking, well, this sounds a lot like Gabe Davis. He's not living up to the hype right now. It's different because Gabe Davis had 0 success prior to the season, and now he has a bigger role, and now he's still not producing. Again, that's not a buy low. You find the guys that have had legitimate success and have been featured in offenses that just aren't producing. Basically, DK Metcalf was a buy low this offseason because everybody on the planet expected, myself included, expected the Seahawks to suck, and we expected his production to dip, so people were afraid. That one didn't even happen. That was just a theoretical dip in production on a really, really talented player, so he was sold cheaper than he should have been. And again, I faded him in redraft, but I didn't do it in Dynasty because, again, my whole thing is you just buy talent. Buy good players. Things will work themselves out over the course of their career if they're actually good. So those are the 3 things, guys, right? Buy talented players in bad situations. Buy talented players that are banged up. And then buy talented players with previous success that are just having a down year for whatever reason it may be. Don't buy low on guys that aren't producing in good situations with no previous track record. Now, again, if you've been playing Dynasty for a while, all of this is obvious to you. This is for people that are new to Dynasty and, are never sure when to pull the trigger on those guys that just are not performing. All right, guys, that is all I have for you. Again, if you like what we're doing here, subscribe. If you have other questions, other Dynasty theory and strategy videos you want to see, drop it down in the comments as well. As always, thank you guys for watching, and we will see you next time.